So today, joining Leeds Millions Missing 2022, we have Bill Clayton, founder of York ME Community. It's great to have you here with us once again. This must be, I think, 4 years running that you've joined Leeds Millions Missing now in some way, shape or form.
I think so, yeah, but I can't count. So yeah, something like that now.
Fab. And well, thank you so much for joining us and being a part of our Millions Missing once again. Bill runs York ME Community, and that was founded in 2016, which offers a huge kind of hub of support for people in the city. Since we last spoke, how have people in York been coping with restrictions lifting?
It's been a bit mixed, really. We've got some who are still a bit, I don't want to leave the house because this, that, and the other's going on. Others that are popping out for a coffee and keeping the masks on and what have you, and others that are jumping straight back into it, going to theatre every week and really loving the fact that it's lifted. So yeah, mixed bag.
And I think everyone's had a different reaction because some people have shielded through the whole of COVID and stayed inside and kind of done what they're comfortable with. And it's then quite daunting to go back out into society and start mixing again, especially when people with ME's immune systems can be hit really hard with infections, just like COVID. But I mean, over this time period, how has York ME Community managed to keep in touch with other people within the group? Has it been over Facebook or?
Well, as you said, just mentioned, we've got the Facebook group, which has been a godsend because we do chat on there quite a lot, and various people bringing up questions, what have you. We've also got one of the ladies who has started a Zoom meeting. So whereas we used to go out for a coffee and a chat, it's now online. So that's still happening. And another couple of ladies set up a crafty group. So it's part of the ME side of things, but everyone that likes a bit of knitting or crocheting or whatever go on there as well. So yeah, it's been, the community side of it has still been working very well.
I mean, it sounds like your community side of it has really grown. I know personally, when I'm not feeling very well, like even something as silly as painting my nails, because it's something that you're doing, it's just kind of it's like almost a small therapy. It really, really helps to kind of take your mind off things. So I can see how that group would be really helpful to people. But throughout lockdown then, obviously we've seen an increase in kind of long COVID and people having poor health after infection. Do you think that's given the ME community a bit more of an understanding? Do you think people are more supportive of the community and of the struggles that people with ME face?
I think initially that was true. Certainly people I've spoken to, including in the medical world, have seen, I realise now, because I've had long COVID, I know what you're going through because the symptoms mirror each other. But I'm finding more and more people that I am talking to are now saying, we're not being believed when we're saying we've got this symptom, that symptom, and it's falling into what those of us with ME know very well. So it's, like I say, when it first started, I thought, great, we can piggyback onto the research, etc., money that's going into long COVID. I think that's tailed away a fair bit.
I mean, you're seeing at the start, there was lots of kind of long COVID clinics being set up and things like this. And I think that, you know, everyone was hoping that this would see a bit more of an understanding. And though we had this initial kind of support and almost like community between long COVID and ME, you know, they're quickly realizing actually that there's not always the support because there's not always the understanding of actual the underlying medical kind of issue that's going on that's causing these symptoms. So hopefully we'll get there, and hopefully it will benefit each other to have two conditions that seem to be linked quite closely, but I guess only time will tell.
Yeah.
Another thing that's been happening in the last 12 months is I know York has been hit with a blue badge ban. Just talk to me a little bit about that, because what's going on at the moment?
Well, if I can give you a very short history, it started off with the council saying blue badge ban out, stay out of the centre basically. And it's to do with COVID. People are getting crushed together that walking through the streets because your car's there. Then when that went past, oh, we need tables and chairs out to help the economy, ramp up a bit, so cafes had chairs and tables out, so we haven't got room for your blue badges. Then it was security. So it's basically the council saying we don't want you in the town centre. And it's got to the stage now where we have employed lawyers, and they are looking into what to do about it next. To be fair, whether it be illegal, etc., etc. So it's all quiet. It seems quiet at the moment, but it's very much bubbling away in the background.
Yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I know at the kind of when the news first broke, because it was being covered, wasn't it, by the BBC and by the Yorkshire Post, by everybody, and it was all over social media. So it'll be interesting to see what does happen, and where you end up with that. But so on a slightly happier note, do you have any plans for Millions Missing this year? Because obviously Millions Missing itself is split into kind of virtual today, and then later on in the year there'll be an in-person event as well. So have you got any plans for today to celebrate?
Not really. What I'm trying to do is save myself the days leading up to it, so I've got the energy to actually get onto social media and do things that way. It is a godsend when you've got that facility in front of you. You can tap a few keys and suddenly a lot more people hear about what you're trying to say. So I'm not going to get out there on the streets or whatever. It's going to be online.
I do think having Millions Missing split up to 2 different days this year is going to mean that it's so much more accessible for people. And to have the online platform, and that's been so over the last few years with COVID, it's been so heavily emphasized that actually you can take your campaigning online, because that's how everyone's been doing it. So now to have 2 dedicated days where people can choose to participate in one or both or none, it's just made it much easier for people to participate in however they're able to do so. In September, so just a few months away, Leeds is planning to have, once again, fingers crossed, a bigger event in the city centre. Obviously, we would love for you to be involved, whether that's in person or sending some poems across or a speech across for us to share. But is it something that you'd be interested in joining us once again?
100% interested, but as we all know, we can't make too many firm plans with what we're dealing with, and I commend you for all what you've done and actually putting all these things together over the years and actually getting there out in the street on the day. I'd love to, and hopefully, if I can't, some others from the group will.
That was lovely. Fantastic. Well, enjoy the rest of Millions Missing, and we will hopefully see you later in the year.